I'm here with Peter Duffy, the president of the Irish Energy Storage Association. And Peter, this morning in your presentation, you made a comment in that how Ireland had some unique experiences with integrating so much renewables into the grid. Could you explain what experience Ireland's got?
Okay, I will indeed. Ireland is an island system in the sense, is that we don't have ASC or alternating current interconnectors.
Right.
We have two DC interconnectors, one into Scotland and one actually over across near Liverpool. So therefore, in fact, we're not locked to the GB electricity system.
Yep.
In effect, we're then almost an island system. So as we increase actually our penetration of renewables, and by renewables here I'm talking about wind and solar.
Okay.
We call it intermittent renewables because that means there can be the output is unpredictable.
Yep.
And in fact it can be going up and down and all of this. And therefore in fact is that as we increase actually that percentage, there's no difficulty whatever until we get up to about 35%.
Okay.
And a system operator, once you go above 35%, he's starting to see then in fact is that he has difficulty actually holding or maintaining actually very tight control of both the frequency and maybe indeed the voltage.
Okay.
And of course then if you go up actually to 40%, 45 and 50%, then suddenly actually the system operator begins to say, look, I need additional system services and somebody has to provide those to us.
Okay.
And the reason for it is that traditionally the older or conventional plant, which is large steam turbines and so on, they're big heavy duty machinery and they're rotating at 3000 RPM and they provide actually all that inertia. So there's no difficulty in the event actually that there's an event on the system, let's say there's a trip or a major lightning strike or whatever, and they'll just actually ride through the bumps and ride through the falls. However, now when you have, let's say, 50 or 55%
wind turbines,
let's say, of wind turbines and maybe a bit of solar, you don't actually have that. So the remaining 30, 40 or 50% of whatever it is of conventional plants,
right.
That plant now on its own is trying to provide that stability
for
the regulator
for
the entire system. So the regulator has to go out to the market and say, listen, I want actually suppliers actually to come in. And so that's really what's driving in Ireland at the moment. So storage actually for us hasn't set out to say we will actually have, the regulator didn't set out and say, listen, we will have a target of 100 megawatts or 200 megawatts
right.
or whatever. What has happened is the other is that we were driving actually to increase the penetration of intermittent renewables onto the system. And then of course the storage followed.
So
because actually the system operator says, I need system services. How can they can be best provided? They can be provided actually through storage. And so we're talking really about rapid response storage. We're not talking about actually where it's a windy night and we actually store up all the electricity.
So the capacity storage, if you like.
Yes, capacity storage. Now we have Turlock Hill, which is
pump storage.
Pump storage.
Pump
That's been there since 1974.
Yeah.
But in more recent times, it's the battery, and to a small extent now we're starting to look at actually super capacitors.
Okay.
But it's and we're also looking
flywheels,
at flywheels as well. Brought them in from the United States and did a long program, actually test program of 6 to 9 months. Issued a report. It was done in conjunction actually with the grid. So the grid actually had to give it the green light and said, look, these respond within the time scale. They'll do everything actually that we want. And now, in fact, we're looking actually at German flywheels to see if they'll do the job. So that's broadly where we are.
Oh wow! Now you also made another comment. You said the energy storage industry shouldn't forget about developing markets.
Yes, I noticed in fact actually that the whole storage industry, in the storage sector, it's really like in very developed economies and in developed markets. So for example, you can see there are a lot of talk actually about, let's say, California, a lot of talk actually across Europe, a lot of talk actually about China and elsewhere, and I know actually down in South Africa and other places. And so there's wonderful, even in the last 5 or 6 years, there's huge expertise and knowledge and experience has been built up.
Right.
And it's all really, a lot of that now has been applied actually into the developed countries, and that's fine, that's great, and it makes sound commercial sense.
Yep.
But there is another huge numbers around the world that either have no electricity, very poor electricity. Colleagues of mine actually work out now in places like Kampala, and they work out like in Uganda and so on, and they'll tell me like that the quality of electricity out in the countryside, out actually in small villages and all that, is extremely poor. If they have electricity at all, it might be actually a single wire at low voltage going out. And if they're lucky, and in some cases they might have a small diesel generator. Well, in our view, that I'm actually putting it forward here that we should be focusing a lot more on mini grids, microgrids, and even smaller, down to nano grids. Like they're all different sizes, and it should be made up actually and we should be shifting across actually to renewable. Renewable really just adjacent, so that you have solar,
take advantage of what they have,
bit of wind, maybe a little bit of biomass. But importantly, actually, you're going to have storage, and you're going to have good control system, and you're going to have load management. But that experience is there, and those people in those countries, they don't have that experience, and they're going to wait. And really, you can see, I mentioned actually, you can see thousands marching up from South America, and thousands marching up actually from sub-Saharan Africa. And we in the developed world, we have this expertise, we have this knowledge, we have this capability. And why actually aren't we putting some of that effort in there? And I think actually, now we can still do our own big commercial projects, but we shouldn't forget about that other.
Well, it's an untapped opportunity right now.
But I just really wanted to raise the awareness today in front of actually a very big group, and I hope actually that I did that.
Thank you very much. That was a fascinating conversation.
Thank you very much, actually, Kevin.
Thank you.
Good talking to you, and we shall meet again.